Hey everyone, Kim here with Abundant Life Tarot. Thank you for joining me. So, as you can see, the title, we are making our chosen deck of the next tarot study. And yeah, it's this is going to be an interesting live stream. I'll just say that. I have a lot on my heart. A lot has happened in the world, hasn't it, these past couple of weeks? And so there's going to be some announcements about what's to come for tarot study as we know of it now. And yeah, I hope you all stay tuned and stay with me as I make the announcement and then go over like when it's going to officially launch our tarot study and all the good details. So welcome. I'm just going to try to hammer through all of the information and then chat as I can. So if I don't stop or immediately acknowledge you, I will. It's just, I want to get it all out. So, yeah. All right. So, hello, Shelby Gibbons. How are you? Thank you for joining me. I'm a little early, I know, but I was biting at the bit to get on. Hi, Patrice. Hi, Renetta. I'm giving you both my love. So thank you for joining me. I always love seeing you and seeing you around the tarot community. So yeah, guys, I'm excited. But I'm like, I have something to share with you guys. I had to make an executive decision. So without further ado, I'm just gonna pop on my intro and then I'll be right back. Hi guys. I'm all looking around. Hey Myrna, thank you for joining. I'm just saying hellos and welcomes, and I'm going to dive right in to our tarot study. So, hey Debbie, how are you doing? Aquarius Owl. I try to make sure I say your first name and then your proper YouTube name. Yeah. Hey, how are you doing? Look, Tree Wood for Life, one of my favorite YouTube names. If you remember from when I did the readings, I remember your name. All right. So I'm a little low energy. There's a couple of things I need to say. I'm a little low energy because it's been a little rough and raw this past week. I'll just say that, one of the cases that I did, one of the Mystery Mystic Monday readings, a big thing happened today. The suspect had charged the police with a knife and basically died by cop. I'm not going to say the S word, but it's from my old hometown. And it hit me, it just really made me sad. So I'm a little down. And then plus, it's just been, my clients have been feeling it. My members in my community have been feeling things, and it's just heavy. But then there's beautiful things in life, right? And so you gotta take the good with the bad sometimes. Yeah. Hey, Amy of Hudson Valley Tarot. How are you doing? Thank you for being here. Hello, Mystic Eve 1111. I'm so happy you all are here. So let me see. Oh, thank you. I'm like, yeah. So that could be an occupational hazard to do these kind of readings, right? To doing any really like heart-centered readings with other people when they're involved and things happen. And if you have opened yourself up to receiving and downloading messages for them and for the collective, I'll say, with these Mystery Mystic Monday readings, then and when it unfolds, then this is the result of that. And so it's not always great. Sometimes quite terrible. And with everything going on in the world, right? In Buffalo, and I'm not even in the United States. And then with Uvalde and yeah, and then Poppy, and then Poppy. Oh God. So yeah, I'm good. Like, but you could be struggling too. So you could be both. So, anyways, without further ado, I don't want to be keeping y'all all day, but I love keeping you all day. So, um, it's going to be, I know I put up a vote, so I have to apologize ahead of time. I put up a vote, you guys graciously voted, but I end up just posting another second vote just to the Facebook group members. And I asked them, what about Everyday Enchantment? And so that deck won. I didn't feel like doing the Marielle because we already have great community folks who are doing studies with the Marielle. And I just right now cannot handle I would imagine it looks like a very deep deck, the Marielle. And one day I will do a study with it. It's just like, I don't know. I'm not up for it. And sometimes you just have to be not up for something. So that's what it is. So that one won. And then a slim margin was the True Heart Intuitive. But I was sitting and working with that deck, shuffling it, looking at the guidebook. I'm like, oh, this is a cool deck. It's different, I'm like, okay. But then what happened to Poppy happened. And I started thinking all back to when I used the Everyday Enchantment. It was during the time that I was doing a lot of readings for the collective for my channel. To try to grow my channel, I was doing those type of readings. And I would do like similar to what I did the other day, the all 12 signs, but I was like going crazy with it. But I like Poppy's deck because super expressive, and I just loved how inclusive it was and bright. It was big, and my little wrists, they struggle. They struggle with it. And so I looked up hashtags of Everyday Enchantment in Facebook and on YouTube. And I saw the videos where I was using that deck all the time, and I loved it so much. And I wish that I got to know it even more. So now, now we'll get to know it more. Yeah. And to boot, like one of my dearest friends, her birthday was on the 1st. Oh God. And she passed very suddenly. And I'm so close to her boys, and it's just really upsetting. It's really heavy. And it's been a couple of years, but it still chokes me up. Aloha, Jonathan. Thank you for joining. It's a little emotional, you guys. I'm better now. I'm better. So we're talking about the deck announcements. It's the Everyday Enchantment. You all know I have to say this. You do not have to use this particular deck when you do the tarot study. Now, with that being said, people usually like to get the deck and they like to work with it with everybody else, and I get that. But it is not a requirement, and I've seen people do just fine without working with the featured deck. So, yes. So I have to say that, but I'm really excited about working with the Everyday Enchantment. Here's the thing. I left it, so I had like a couple of copies of it, but one I sold, one that was like a gift or whatever that I kept as a backup, but I wasn't gonna trim it. I'm still kind of chicken about trimming it, and I don't know if I'm gonna trim it now. I don't want to trim it. But anyways, it's being shipped, and I got confirmation that it's coming from the US, and I'll probably get it by like next Monday. So I'm excited. So that worked out. but I don't have it here. You guys know my struggle with me moving on my decks. So if it was in a big box, I had to make some sacrifices. So I was able to find a copy and get it to me. Yay! And I confirmed, and the little computer system is on its way. Oh, thank you, Jonathan. Thank you for saying that. It's just like, what in the world? You know, I'm an Aquarius sun sign, so it's a little much for me. This is much. I don't like all that. But yeah, I never have liked modern decks. I have her other out of print. Oh, I wanted that one, The Waking the Wild Spirit. But studying one of her decks now would be very depressing. I find it so sad. And publicize her choice. Yeah, it is sad. And I get that. I totally get it. But I just feel like I wanted to spend more time with it. It just didn't happen. And she did publicize it. And her wish was to finally be validated and recognized and celebrated. Her work. She was very clear about this. This is her work. This is her. Okay. You know, I can't go to England and pay my respects. And I don't do things out of shoulds and obligation. I actually really want to do this. But to protect your peace of mind, yeah, it may not be for everyone. And that's okay. That's okay. But again, that's me again. I kind of walk right into shadow. And I have to look at that right when it's happening. What is this about? And this is how I'm choosing to do it. So yeah. I'm like, I get it. And sometimes you just, it totally makes sense. It's not for everyone. Hello, my friend. Welcome to our Thursday chat. You know, I try to catch y'all on Thursdays. Yeah. You know, I would be one of those ones that go pay my respects or send something, you know, for condolences, but I can't. So I don't know. I'm just excited. And guess what? So I don't have her deck here, but in looking at all those old videos I had on my channel in like 2018, 2019, that era, well, I saw that I love doing like the readings for the collective. Now I don't really do it now on the channel. I just don't. But I did it a lot with her deck, and I got all juiced the other day. I was like, yeah, I'm gonna do readings for the collective, and I'm gonna use, you know, I'm not gonna use that deck, but I'm inspired by what I was doing back when to do it this time. So it was so much fun. I had so much fun. I was like, oh, I missed this. And I don't know. Hi, Kristen Louise. How are you doing? Oh, aren't you going live? Did I have that right? At 4? With Elemental Cartomancy, I believe. Oh, yay. Not sure about trimming it, but it's kind of big, so I understand why people want to trim. I do, and it looks really good trimmed. If I had a bold person here who would just trim it for me, I would probably have them do it. But then again, I'm leery about cutting the decks. I just don't know. We talked about this before, me and my weirdness about that. Yeah, it is cool to see the edge colors. Oh, you requested one of her books from the library. Looking forward to reading it. How cool. Yeah, you all check your libraries for tarot resource. You'd be surprised. Libraries are really cool and they have great books. At least mine did. And I lived in an area that you wouldn't expect it. It was like the suburbs in California. So it was like this much on the shelf of books. But it was always a beautiful rotation of different ones, new tarot books. So support the libraries and save some money, go to the library. So do that. They also have like digital books, like ebooks, audiobooks that you can check out. Many of you probably know that, but it's just a reminder. You have that as a resource. So, in case you didn't know, going live, yay! You all have to join. Let's see, I'm thinking about getting a second copy to trim. A lot of people have done that. A lot of people. And I think that was my intention when someone gifted it me. I forgot to take it off my wish list back when, and I forgot all about it. And so I'm excited, but I don't think I can trim it. But yes, this is definitely for some, not for others. It makes me angry and sad. Yeah, see, yeah, I think that's how I've been feeling myself. As a retired critical care RN, I had many attempted S patients, etc., and I feel making videos inappropriate. Yeah, I know. I was like, videos, it's imprinted in my brain. But yeah, it's imprinted in my brain. And that brings me to something. I definitely want to work with the deck, but a lot of the work that we do with the tarot study happens in the Facebook group. And I think I like it better there. I will create different videos or things like that using the deck. Yay, talking about it, and just if it makes sense to, like, authentically. But in terms of, as someone, when I was young, I did attempt S, and and it's like, whoa. And then I felt selfish, all these different feelings, like relating, understanding, but then not understanding, and just how am I, and the grief and the anger and helplessness, and I don't know. And it's like, what could you have done? Your logical mind steps in, and it's like, what could you have done? Good. I don't know. Hi, my friend. How are you doing? Thank you for joining. Libraries are often free meals for any kids in summertime if needed. Yes, that is right. In my community, they would have the little paper bag. It just, especially during the pandemic, which was really sweet and really nice, and I love that. You are very much speaking truth to that. So support the libraries. Oh, well, there you go. There you go. You work at the library. So, yeah, you know, you know. I grabbed one of her books from Amazon about reincarnation and only paid 24 US dollars. It was the only copy, apparently, and I can't find that book anywhere for less than hundreds of dollars. It's a gift, isn't it? It's like a little, here you go, a little blessing. I love that. I love when that happens. It's like, wow, it's sweet. Yeah, I could only watch pieces, and I was like, no. Yeah. I mean, sometimes in this life, I guess we're going to bear witness to some things that are very uncomfortable. So it's like, I know that, I've been in it. And so, yeah, it's a lot more common than people realize. Yeah. I hope people normalize getting help if needed. I've been S before too. Yeah. Thank you for sharing. And that is so right. There's a lot of stuff coming out to be aware of, a lot of tragedy, but when we look back, hindsight, and whoa, what a gift hindsight is, right? You can look back and say, wow, I really, like, if it just would have taken some awareness, don't own it like that, but just making sure you're aware for even yourself when you may be going down a path of needing help. You know what I'm saying? Like in anything, whether it's being asked or you are physically failing or something is really hurting and nagging at you, you got, reach out for help. You talk to someone. And then we stand strong in recognizing that in others, and especially for ourselves, it's a healing process, as I like how Patrice put it. It's a healing process for us in our tarot community to work with Everyday Enchantment together. Exactly. I don't like the whole bit of sweeping things under the rug. Again, I know not everybody believes in the zodiacs and stuff, and my understanding of the full zodiac experience is not like superior like where other people like astrologists, right? But I'm an Aquarius, and so I think of the Queen of Swords and just like, no, I want to deal with this. And I want to be a place where if other people want to deal with it, they can too, or not. And that's okay as well. Because this is not a thing of like, oh, right, this is right, this is wrong. A lot of times we get so caught up in that. This is right, this is wrong, you're right, or I'm right, you're wrong. You wish it was like, okay, we can get on the same foot, but it's just, no. Everybody is allowed to feel how they feel, work how they want to work with the deck, how they want to do their spirituality, how they want to use their gifts. Yeah. Let me see what Kristen Louise says. I understand that, Jonathan. I watched him a few times, wanting to be a witness to her story, but I totally get why someone. I know. That's how I felt. That's exactly, you're summing up how I felt. Like I watched it in bits and pieces, starts and bits, or whatever that saying is. And I think collectively I watched them, and I also watched her other videos. That was like a month or two before. And that was also like, okay. Because, when you also do readings for clients, that awareness of somebody may be really struggling is important for me as a healer. It's important. Like, what does that look like? I'm not a psychologist or a psychiatrist, but I engage with clients on a regular basis. And not everyone is doing very well. So I need to understand this. And I also really like Poppy. I told you all the story. I think it was last week. I don't know where I talked about it. Somebody's Facebook group. Maybe mine. I don't know. Probably mine. And she's just so kind. And she reached out to me back in like the unboxing of her video of her Everyday Enchantment I did. That was what, 2018, 2019? I can't remember. Very kind lady. And I really liked her. I thought she was really badass and cool. And I really liked her deck. And for those who are new to tarot and who's not really feeling Rider-Waite-Smith and Thoth, if they're not feeling those decks, then, here's another alternative in a great guidebook. So I always consider those factors in picking out a deck. The guidebook has to be something to really chew on and learn from. Artwork would be really nice, so you can pick up on little themes and symbols, all that good stuff. She wanted her work seen, and this is a wonderful way to honor her output, in my opinion. That's how I felt. She wanted to. If she probably wasn't having the physical pain, and one of us decided to have done a tarot study with her deck last year, this is where I start to feel like kind of crappy. Like, really, like, Kim, get over yourself. But it's like, what if? And she could have been a part of it and just know how celebrated it is. I don't know. you know, so that brings me to, wanting to celebrate her work, but also a reminder to celebrate people who are here doing it now. And we see you and we hear you and we want to elevate you and celebrate you while you're here. So, yeah. Sorry, I'm all snorting. Let's see. I'm just too sensitive. I feel myself fall into emotions for sure. And how could you not? How could you not? If you could not, well, I mean, you're some kind of special human being. But if you're in the world like we are, and here we are, you can't help but empathically feel that. It's a lot. Yeah, just opinions. And everybody makes sense to me. Like, makes sense to me. Every point. Hello, Oyas girl, or as we know her and love her, Queen Aset. Thank you for joining. I'm so happy you're here. I made an announcement for those who are just joining. It's going to be the Everyday Enchantment. You know, I'm super jazzed about it, but I can understand the concern for those who may not want to work with it. But I do. I really do. I kept getting this energetic no, like with the Marielle. When I was putting on the poll, I'm like, oh, look, it won. And I took it out and I shuffled it. And I was like, oh, this is a special deck. I just don't feel like doing it. I feel like watching the content has already been created in support of studying the Marielle. And then if I'm called to do a more intimate mini tarot study amongst like a small group of folk with it, I would be inclined to do something like that. That's probably what I'll do. I just kept getting an energetic no. And then the true heart intuitive, I was warming up to. I was like, okay, this is one I really wanted to get to know. But I was like, you know, I don't know. Then all this happened. I'm like, oh my God. I couldn't believe it when she sent me her walking wild the wild spirit for free. You see what I'm saying? For 15 years ago, for free. Wow. That's so amazing. What a blessed gift. Wow. Thank you all. So it's like ramble on. So yeah, that's what we're doing. The likely launch or the kickoff date for the tour study is on either between July 1st and July 15th. Because I'm getting the deck next week and I like to sit with it and get all inspired, like on what to create for the tarot study, then I'm ready to launch it. So yeah, let's see. I try to be a safe space and non-judgmental place because we truly never know what both children and adults are going through, right? We really don't. And that doesn't mean that we just always have to be open to that, right? There's no judgment in like saying, okay, I just can't take this on. Are in spaces that end up taking it on. And then we have to hold space for those folks too, right? It's like we have to, yeah. Hmm. I couldn't believe it when she sent me her walking. I saw that one. Okay. Anyways, let me carry on. This is an evergreen tarot study, so you can always join the Facebook group. That's where the bulk of the work for the study is where that's what we do over there. Because it's easier to just congregate on Facebook, I found. I tried in other ways, but that's just what seems to work the easiest. So, and this is no exception. With each study we've done, there's always a bit more for me, like refinement, paying attention to what's enjoyable to do with studying the deck and letting go of what's not. And so I made this like little master list that I'll share some ideas with you all. And I did ask for volunteers. I know everybody's busy, but here's the thing. It makes it much more fun if it's like different people. From day one, since starting the Tarot study, I've always wanted it to be like a conference feel where everybody pitches in. You don't need to own the deck to lead one of the tasks for our 6 to 8 week tarot study. You don't. And what I mean by evergreen is you can join a year from now, 2 years from now, as long as the group is open, and be able to do the activities that are tagged for that tarot study. And so we've done a few, and it's been fun. It's a lot of work. And so with that being said, probably what's going to happen is this is going to be the last one I do for this year. I may just get down to just 1 or 2 per year. And I'll have mini ones. And maybe I am dying actually to explore oracle decks. I love what I've been seeing with our mini oracle studies. So that's, bite-sizable. So yeah. So, but I have a sign-up sheet and I broke down all the tasks over all the course of the different studies we've done in the past, of all the different things we've done, and I put it on a spreadsheet, a sign-up spreadsheet. And thank you to those who've added your names to tasks. I'll show you all of what it is in a moment. But if we don't get a lot of volunteers, that's fine. I'm just going to pick what I want to present for this particular tarot study. So that's what's going to happen. But another positive to this is I got inspired to track all the different ways you could possibly do a tarot study. And I like building stuff and then saving them somewhere where people can find it later and we can have to start from scratch. So I was like, oh, this is a plus. But yeah, it's probably my last one. I thought I could squeeze in another one. No, I can't. I cannot. I can collaborate and be a piece, but yeah. I just got my copy a day or 2 ago. I'm looking forward to getting to know it. I'm so very focused on my own deck, but y'all, even if you don't have the deck, you learn so much from watching others deep dive into a particular deck. Their takes, their interpretations, the little things that they notice and pop out when they're looking at the card. And then when you look at your own deck that you have, you start to pay attention, journal, take in, meditate with the card and all that good stuff. So yeah, I'm still going to watch. If I'm not able to join the lives, watch the replay. Because I'm excited about what to learn from my friend, Jonathan. So let's see. Oh, yeah, we're almost just at the part where I show you my little, I'll just tell you all. So the different ways that we can engage with the deck for the tarot study is weekly journal prompts, which I had some kind person, and I'll show you all my spreadsheet in a moment. Y'all know I love a spreadsheet, but people have signed up and I have like a backup, like a column for backup people, or if you're collaborating, I have a column for that. I don't know. And so whatever task it remains is what I'll jump in and take on and do, but what I'm called to do. So one of the ways to engage in a tarot study with the deck is weekly journal prompts. So we do have a member who said, I'll do the weekly journal prompts. Guidebook musings and takeaways. I mean, everybody should be, I hate the word should, but it would be nice if you also read the guidebook along during this time of your study, consult it when you pull some cards, really get to know it, because it'll stay up here later when you're doing readings. So I would imagine you would be reading the book as well, but someone would actually be taking important takeaways and we get to have discussion points about it. So someone to do that. There's the exploration of the cards, like the meanings and interpretations and self-reflection. Honestly, that should be going on throughout the tarot study. the 6 to 8 week commitment that I make to devoting to monitoring what's going on in an active launch of a tarot study. And then thereafter, we all kind of pitch and support those who may join like people want to do the Hoodoo Tarot, or they come and check out the Antique Anatomy, or the Light Seers, whatever. They have the hashtag and they comment and they're making their new post. We all kind of volunteer and just say, oh yeah, this happened for me when I came across that card, engage with them. It's an ongoing, I don't know, exchange with the tarot study, but it's fun. It is fun. It's just a lot. When I started breaking down all the things that you could do, I was like, oh my God, this is a lot. The videos on the majors. So there's 22, right? And then people could either take 1 or 2 or 3 or 5, I don't know, or not. They could choose to work on the minors. There's 56 minors. So then I broke down, you'll see what I did. I'm getting ahead of myself. Another way to engage with it with the tarot study is how to use that particular deck. Do you have special readings that you do, different techniques? Maybe you have a cool way of how you shuffle the deck, since it's a bit larger, the practical ways or the considerations about working with the deck, the mechanics of working with it. So yeah, let's see, deck theme exploration. So the overall, a lot of decks probably have a central theme. What is it? And let's explore it. Accompany oracle decks to pair with a featured deck. I like that one. That one's fun for me. I love to do it like a little pairing, a little combo of like, okay, these are the decks that I like to have play with this deck. I love that so much. It makes me totally a little tarot nerd or tarot geek. But some people are like, no, I'm not really into oracle. Readings with the featured deck. And so that's just what it is. Readings using the deck, showing videos or taking pictures or, writing up a post, pictures or video or audio, I don't know. Symbols analysis, and feel free to add anything I haven't listed. So. I'll show you what I've been up to. Okay, where are you? Oh, there you are. All right, hopefully you can see it. Can I extend it? Yes, I can. So, of course, I made a little spreadsheet, very simple, nothing fancy, but I needed to have it up for future use too. So we've got the task, the member's name, the backup member, if somebody's like, oh, I really want to do that. Well, it's always nice to have a backup. Or maybe you have a collaboration partner. Some comments exchanged over here in this column. And let's see, sign up date and task completion date. That's just more for, keeping track of what may have already been done and not remaining, and maybe somebody else want to pick it up. So we've got this task, weekly journal prompts. I'm not going to read through all of this. It's in the description box, and it is also pinned to the top of the Facebook group, Abundant Life Tarot group. You'll be able to see it there. So we have task here, and then I broke down the majors. Might be fun for somebody just to deep dive into the Fool or the Magician, or somebody might say, I want to do this little set here, Maybe they want to do Death, Temperance, and the Devil. I don't know. Then we have the minors, aces through tens for wands. And so taking on like the suit, wands, ace through 10, cups, same, all four suits. Then we've got the wands, the courts, cups, courts are separated. And then if anybody has some suggestions, because I'm always open to suggestions. So yeah, that's my little handy dandy spreadsheet. It's very rudimentary, but it's good because for future studies that are done with tarot primarily, you could just for oracle decks, you could just do this top part here, no majors or minors, and have quite a bit of stuff to get into in terms of connecting with the deck in a tarot study. But I digress. Let me stop sharing. Let me go back. Let's see. Work pulled me away. Hi. Oh, that's okay. That's okay. And I won't be on here long. You guys are always amazing. I want to keep this at an hour or less. Yes, it's so good that she's here today. I'm so happy. It makes my heart happy. Aw, thank you. You all are amazing. I wish I could help, and I'm so. Oh, hey, I get it. That reminds me. Thank you for mentioning that. You can be very new to do the tarot study. If you're not comfortable yet, diving in and taking on a card or taking on a suit, I get it. It's just also a great way for those who are like, you know what, I kind of just want to jump in. I'm going to do it. I'm going to study the hell out of that card or that task. Or you may be a writer and you're called to create the journal prompts or something like that. And that's not necessarily working with the card meanings, but you definitely should be a part of the tarot study, whether you're able to volunteer or not, because I want everybody to participate, whether you're seasoned and been doing this forever or whether you are new. And I just love seeing the exchange of folks on all those different levels coming together and discussing a card, discussing something that came up during our study. Keeps you organized. Now you have a template for every study. Great job. Yeah, and I might even have little tabs at the bottom of this Google Sheets where it's like, okay, this one's for the Everyday Enchantment. I'm only starting it here going forward. I'm not going to go back to the past studies we've done. That'd be too much. That'd be too much. So, but thank you. Thank you. I slapped it together like yesterday or the day before. I was like, this ain't cute, but it's going to get the job done. Yes, we need fresh takes. We love fresh takes. I get so like reinvigorated by hearing a new person's take on a card. Like, just as I gained so much wisdom from somebody who's been doing, card readings for, 30, 20, 30, 40 years, for like a long time. So we just learn from each other and it's amazing. Eternal students we are over at Abundant Life Tarot group on Facebook and here, YouTube world. So I'm like, I'm still learning too. Yes, technically, in my opinion, we are always learning. You would want to be. I do. Like, I think that's why we buy so many decks and have so many. I even shipped guidebooks. I'm looking at them now and I'm like, I love them though. I go and pull them off the shelf and I just thumb through and see what chapter I land on and take in some information. Or sometimes it's like references, like my Tarot d'Amour or Tarot for the Healing Heart. So I'll just pull these off my shelf. It's not really practical to be shipping like books and things like that to the island. So a lot of my reference guides are on my Kindle or my Nook, my e-device. Yeah, but I love books. What you? I love books. I love this. I love reading. So I'm always collecting stuff about sex and torrid connections and complicated situations. I'm here for it. Here for it. I don't mind sharing my readings. I did the light series. Yes, you did. And I enjoyed your contribution so much. Thank you. I really did. Oh my goodness. yes, your voice is needed. It really is. I tell you what, like, yes, I will try. I'll write in the Facebook group later to find out more details. Of course. And so, yes, whatever you are comfortable with, but I do encourage you to dive in, and because we won't bite. We won't bite. We'll actually be probably quite inspired with what you have to say. Even questions are super inspirational because it has you thinking, like, wait a minute. Let me slow down. Yeah. Yeah, we can get jaded. You can instantly fall into like these rote meanings for cards if you don't keep it sharpened with new, fresh ways of looking at it. So at least that's how I feel. That may not be for everybody, but it's for me. It works for me. I can speak to that. I'm a perpetual student. Absolutely. I I would rather not think of the idea of not being a perpetual student. That would be like agony for me. That would be like a lot of pain to my mental well-being. I love learning all the time, all the time. So, I showed you all that. I showed you, let's see, may only do 1 to 2 tarot. I told you guys that. Evergreen. Yeah. So yeah, this is a way to deepen your connection with reading the cards. And I don't want to encourage y'all to feel like you have to buy the deck or any deck that we do a tarot study. I honestly don't. This is why I like to have consistent ways of working with the tarot study, so it could be used for the next deck, the next deck, the next deck, and anyone could hop in and do those things. Yeah, again, there's something like some kind of beautiful camaraderie that happens with us as we do the launch tarot study together, but that doesn't mean that you're not going to have a great experience getting to know the deck after the fact. Like, that's why I said evergreen. So come over. That's another reason why I can only do 1 or 2 studies, I'm thinking, in a year, because I want to go back and reconnect to the decks that we've already studied. And because as we do more, I start to lose the connection to the ones we study, and I don't want that. So that's why I also want to encourage you that if you were like, oh, I want to work with the herb crafters, this is the perfect season for herb crafters tarot. Well, come on over. Or like you want to get into the hoodoo, come on over. Light Seers, we just did. I use that deck all the time. I love it. And I love it even more after we spent a lot of time with it. So join. Let's see, I think, yeah, and like I mentioned before, many oracle studies are happening. I'm not the ones leading it, but maybe in the future, now I'm not going to be doing 1 or 2 studies in a year for the 12, then I have oracle time, and I can maybe chime in like I'm doing a little special mini oracle study because I love the oracle. If you haven't noticed, like I love oracle decks. Oh my gosh. Well, in my Facebook group, I did a live the other day, just kind of asking some questions with you guys and chatting with you. And so I mentioned about the Untold Truth Oracle. And so I used it on a few readings on the hotlines, and let me tell you. And I even just called it out, like whatever was like on there that I felt like was applicable. It was like, so if you want a full flip through, you'll have to join the Facebook group. I just didn't feel like doing like an unboxing this week. Maybe next week. Maybe I'll do a flip through or something of the deck, but I don't know. We'll see. There's a full flip through of me chatting it up with you guys because I just got it in the mail. Like, look at this. Silent treatment blocked ignoring. This came up. And I was like, I just picked one of the keywords that really was resonating with all the tarot and the other oracle deck I used. This one, my little love one I made. And I'm like, oh, no, I'm going to tell you and I'm going to show you. And it's been spot on. So I have to say, I don't know. So all these oracle decks that I can work with, they do a lot. They do a lot of heavy lifting in my reading practice. That's what I'll say. So I don't need that anymore. Yes. And leave. Okay. I don't trust anyone who doesn't consider themselves a spiritual student. Jonathan cracks me up every single time we get together. So, yeah, real talk. Like, anyone who would be like that will openly admit it. Look out. I don't know. That's weird. Who needs school? Who needs books? What? I think about the deck studies with Kim, the hand of the electro group is that it's very self-paced. Saying that, and you do it in your own time. I forgot to mention that. It is self-paced. You start. Thank you, John. It's really important. Really important. Let's say we do the kickoff July 1st, but you're like, work and life is happening, and you're like, you can't start 2 weeks later. People start later, and it's still fine. And as each person is like, I'm done in 6 weeks or in 8 weeks, however long we land on. Of course, I'll probably be done vote. Probably not, no vote. But anyways, yeah, I forgot what I was saying. I was on a tangent. Oracle decks are amazing. Oh, self-paced. Got to get back to self-paced. Sorry, guys. I'm like, oh, like happy. Like, you just completely reminded me, and I got so excited that I forgot. So, anyway, self-paced. You don't have to feel pressured to keep up with us, to get caught up, or feel like, oh, I can't do it now. No. You can start whenever you can. Life happens. That's what I was saying. Life happens, and you can't always start right away. I didn't. There was a time, I forgot which one. Could have been the Hoodoo, but I'm thinking it might be the Antique Anatomy, where I couldn't start for like maybe a week behind you guys. I still put out everything to get it started, but life was happening. So yeah, self-paced. Take your time. If you skip a day, you have to skip a day. So don't. I feel so bad when people email me or send a comment and they're like, I feel terrible. I'm like, that's not what we're doing over here. We're not doing feel terrible. I love oracles. I love that. Oh, so people all over the world can connect with each other. Yes, that's the other thing. We get to all, like, we literally are all from around the world, the country, the world. And it's just, and we're here for the love and the learning in tarot. It's just, I don't know. It's special and magical. Yeah, me too. So yeah, I think I hit on all the points. So next week I'll be reconnecting with the Everyday Enchantment and getting ready to seeing if anyone else signs up, and then whoever does, whatever remains, and I'll jump in and do. And then we'll do an official live launch. So yeah, I'm excited. Yeah. Oh, yes. Something just for me. And that was another thing I liked. I think I would use this deck because it's larger. It ended up sometimes being like some of my own personal messages, and I could send them on a special place that I have my cards just for me. That was my little sacred corner. And I need a sacred corner in here. Yeah, everything is for readings, but it really, really is set up, this office, for readings for others and not necessarily like readings for me. Like I used to like have this cute little wooden medicine cabinet that I converted into a little mini altar space when I was living in the States. I took pictures of it and I painted it like this bright blue. I love that little thing. So it made me sad to sell it. Wish I could have brought it. It was too heavy. So yeah. I watched from the sidelines when you were doing yeah, life. For sure. But you, my friend, Queen, I said, you actually had helped us because you were recommending different books. And so I pinned that to the top of the Facebook group for the Hoodoo Tarot study. So I go back sometimes and look at books and then download them to my Kindle or my Nook or whatever, usually my Kindle, to be honest. But we had, so I learned so much. The Hoodoo Tarot touched me in so many different ways when we did the study together. And I talk about it, but it was during the time, what was it? 2021. And we were first time living abroad, my little family. And so I'm feeling raw and new, an adventure. But nevertheless, it's like, whoa, learning a new language, trying to find my way, and then leading this tarot study, and then having these profound readings with it, and then seeing others going through a lot themselves, and having those readings together. It got deep, and I feel just so connected to you all. It's one of my favorite spots of social media, to be honest. I'm like an old farty because I don't want to let go of Facebook. Yeah, so I don't know. I love the Hoodoo Tarot. I loved it before our study, but I especially love it now. And I have a feel. Usually, I feel that way after any deck that we've studied deeply together. I'm like, oh, I really have a special connection. I pull it down, and it's not so foreign to me if I use it, a year from now. It's not foreign to me. It's like it feels good, and oftentimes I grab for them because of the study, whereas I probably wouldn't have even thought of them. I don't know. So anyways, you all, do you have anything else to ask about the study, mention about it? I'm super excited about doing this one. I know, like I said, people may not want to do it, but you don't have to use the deck. But if it's even triggering to see us talk about it, because maybe people, use she had 2 decks, right? Maybe some people use that deck, and some of us use the Everyday Enchantment. I don't know. Or you use your own deck. Because what do I preach over here? I preach loving on the decks that we have. There's a lot on this spreadsheet. I want to do everything on it, but I have to. Yes. Thank you for mentioning this. I'm waiting for him to drive away. It's a lot. It's a lot. So I wanted to do everything too. And that was where I got myself in trouble. So I'm starting to do more readings, like clients and stuff like that. And so it's just like my days are starting to stretch way too long. And I still have a little girl to spend time with and teach and mold. And my husband, and my adult kids, they still need me. They still call me and want to chat for a long period of time. And so, of course, I can't do readings during those times. So it's been a big juggle in my life. I need to get back to learning this language and spending time outdoors and with the people again, and just getting back to a little bit of like balance. So it's a lot, but I want to do everything too. That's why I was hoping that if everybody wanted to do something, we could have it all. But then we can't all also do all those activities. So that's why when I do the launch, I explain to you, you only really need to do 1 or 2 things per week, the journal prompt and some other activity, really, and engaging with other people as they post in the group. I don't want it to be strenuous, y'all. That's not what this is for. Nothing like a deep dive to really connect with your deck. Yes, it's an amazing way. And if you can't do the study when we do it, that's okay. Do it when you can and do it how you can. Make it your own. You could even look at that spreadsheet and be like, oh, at the top part where it says tasks, just use that for a deck of your choosing off your shelf and play with it and before you start buying up all the decks and looking at, oh, I need to buy this one, that one. And I'm guilty, by the way. I'm just saying, word from the wise. Get to see if you can get those loving feelings with the deck you already have. And then, of course, if you have a specific need for a deck in your collection or your reading practice because you need it. You know what I mean by need, by the way. But for me, like the Untold Truth Oracle was something I really wanted for my professional readings, my professional love readings. So I ordered it. There you go. But I'm not just ordering decks just to sit pretty on my shelves anymore. They gotta work. You gotta work, girls. Oops. Let's see. How about if I treat this spreadsheet like an all you can eat buffet? Exactly. That's how I envision it. I was in my mind, I want a virtual, wouldn't it be cool if we had like a virtual um, conference, tarot conference? And so this is like a mini little virtual tarot conference in my mind, how I envision it. And you know how like when you go to a conference, like I've been to a couple in my day, a few, not just tarot, but writers conferences. And you go and you get to pick like a smorgasbord, like a buffet. Oh, I want to go to this little seminar over here. I want to go over here. And it's nice to be able to have options. I like that. Just a taste of this and a taste of that, but I'll work on being organized and structured. I know. Here I come with my little Aquarian structured ways. But that I hope you take what feels good and resonates and leave the rest. Time to start shopping your stash. Exactly. Shop your stash. Now that's what I try to do. And oftentimes I have it like if a new deck is dropping and I'm like, oh, I really like it. And I realize I look at my shelf like, I have a deck that fits the bill. Calm down, Kim, calm down. I love it. Dating my decks, falling in love again. Isn't it special? Rekindling old flames. That's right. Like I've said before, I've totally personified my deck connections. Oh, I love that too. So you all, I'm not going to keep you because this is going to be too long of a replay. But this was great. I'm just so grateful for you all. I'm grateful for each and every one of you. You, um, you want to keep coming back and playing around over here on YouTube. I tell you what, but like it just the engagement that we have here, I look forward to every Thursday. And then the comments that you all leave, like I get so excited when I get like a little notification on my phone, like, oh, what did somebody say? And I read them like, oh my goodness. So you just make me feel all loved and special. So I appreciate that. And yeah, I'm looking forward to this next tarot study. Sorry to be a little Debbie Downer, but I'm feeling good now. I feel like I had a release. So thank you guys. My makeup probably ran, but yeah, you're welcome. Thank you. Thank you so much. So please, we're doing this. You, my friend, was instrumental in that. That's what I'll say. I won't say anything more, but it was already kind of nagging me, and I now realize my little intuition. I was like literally energetically dragging my feet on things. I was like, no, you got to do a summertime tarot study. So you got to confront whatever's going on here. So what was going on is I felt called to do another deck that I didn't have you all vote on. So I'm sorry. Have a beautiful day, you all. Thanks again for joining me. If you're watching the replay, I definitely want to hear from you. I want to hear your thoughts. Share. Because I do read them, if you didn't know that. I do, and I comment. So yeah, let us know. And if you'd be so kind as to hit the like button, that helps your girl out. So I've remembered to say it this time. Dang it. Bye. I'll see you soon, Kristen Louise. You guys take care, and yeah, have a great rest of your day.